Welcome back to another fine episode of the Piper and the Doug. Man, there's a lot of straw up in that cab. Dang birds. Anyway, what are we doing this week, Piper Doug? Well, we're hoping to go cutting hay, and this machine's almost ready to go. But making the decision to go ahead and change all the blades over. And folk would be like, but Piper Doug, those blades look just dandy. Just turn them over and get gone. What is that noise? I hear a hydrostatic. What is that, boy? Anyway. So, what I do, as you'll see by why there's a tap and die set here, is I change over to new blades anyway. And then all of these blades here, as you can see, some of them have a little proudness on them. Like it'd have been working that way. So I clip a few stones, it bends them up a little bit. So I have a box full of blades in there. I'll run them all through the press, flatten them back out, and then if they're fairly decent, I might put the grinder to them and put a new edge on this. And then these will be like round 2, round 3, or use these ones at the back end for doing the shortcuts, because as you go along in the year, you start cutting closer to the ground. I do anyway, because I'm cheap that way. Yeah. Also, back to the tapping of the die, is I just run the tap through the, I don't even know what you call these, they're not nuts. Well, let's just call them nuts. I'm a judge of nuts. And then, yeah, I'll just run the bolt down through the die, clean everything up, just dip it in a little bit of old diesel there. Just run them back and forward, and then just crank them back into the turtles. There's a very good chance this is the last year for this cutter bar. Let's see if I can do this without losing my place. If you see the delay, that shows you how much wear there is. There is a little bit of slop in these from new, but not that much. But this has done a lot of thousands of acres, so all going well, she'll do this year out, and then she'll be due a big rebuild. All the skids will be needing replaced. All of the bats on the auger will need replaced. Yeah, pretty much the whole thing just needs to be completely done, because the header itself, it's not pretty, but it does the job. It's got some scars. The can for that side is currently laying over there. Technically don't need it, and this gives me better access to the grease points, because there's a couple that kind of point inwards and you have to really fight with them, so bugger it. She just runs outside, and for the most part this pulley doesn't pick up any crop from the cut. So, oh, somebody's getting a bit of a hammering over there. So that's where we're at. So not bore you any further and just get to getting. Lovely sight, the calves and the cows, and stumpers are still there waiting to calve. Second cow to come into fruition and calve has now happened since Stumpers has been in the holding pen with engorged bosoms. So now you're about to find out why the episode is called Vaselining Your Ball Cock. And before YouTube gets a little defensive about my content, Vaseline ball cock. So many of you regulars will know this water trough quite well, because Richie water troughs, Richie waterers, you guys need to do better. The trouble we've had with this trough. The other one, yeah, touch wood, it's a little bit bigger one, but these smaller ones, oh my gosh, the trouble we have had. So what now? Because as you'll remember, I had the spare one in my pocket. I don't. The little black rubber stopper kept flipping out. I found one from an old trough, because apparently it's still the same valve system they've been using forever. So it's in there now. So put it all back together. It's been going good. Mrs. Piper Doug came out to do the morning checks. Found a lake. Water all through the back of the pen and out the other side. It can't really go that way because there's so much bedding here right now. Thankfully, it hasn't flooded this pen too much. But yeah, running wide open. What happened? Your guess is good as mine. The only thing I can find out was the lever and the little shuttle jammed up. And it wasn't seating. And no matter how hard that ball got, it wasn't shutting it off. So, went to our local Richie water distributor, because it's off season. They don't have any stuff sitting around. So what am I doing? I just slathered the seal and the little shuttle, slathered it in Vaseline, and then just kind of cleaned up everything in there, reset the float setting, put it back together, and the water seems to have stopped rising. Now this water trough is going to get overhauled this summer. It's one of the ones. There's one getting replaced, that one over there, because it is done, it is cracked. I'm kind of thinking we might go with a can arm on that one. Yeah, I get that they are kind of cheaper than the Richie ones, but we don't have trouble with our can arms as much. So this is going to get overhauled, and I think we're actually going to put a cage around this, because we have trouble with the newborns getting into water and drinking too much water. So we might put a railing around here to keep them off until we get more these kind of size. But yeah, these ones just realized I fixed the trough. So, and yeah, no more babies off of the Hereford Bull in this pen yet. 8 out of 20. That's all that's calved. And there's none looking close to calving, so needless to say, we're not happy. Back you up a bit. So back to the trough. So yeah, here we are. This is where we're at. Just gonna keep an eye on, make sure it keeps returning. So I won't bore you with that, but there you go. That's why this is the name of the video. Yep. That's right, Fiona. Oh, you're yawning. I thought I'd mentioned this in a previous video, but I never showed y'all. Probably seen it in a few of the videos in the background. This old geezer. Yeah, we bought this off of neighbours to the south. This is the Barry Green swather. So this one will be called Barry. Oh yeah, I have a thing. Yeah. Anyway, so this runs, goes, all the rest of it. Just hasn't moved in a while because we haven't needed it. Everything should work as is. Probably gonna need some belts. I think the tires are all still good. Probably need to do a carb clean out. But outside of that, canvases might need a little of attention. These old wooden slats, I don't know. The underside might be the question. Up here is about to be fine. But the problem is the cutter bar has been sitting down on the ground, so it's probably in quite bad shape. Yeah, it's not pretty, but it works. Bat reel. Got the old homemade levers there, bypassing the pedals. So yeah. There's this. I won't talk about that, and that trailer is also full of this stuff. Anyway. And there's this geezer. A little bit bigger. And this, same thing, the canvases are gooned. But it was working when parked. The only thing that went wrong on this was, because it's a closed ram system, one of the rams burst. Seal went on it, so the rams are to repack. So if we need to, we can look at that. But for the most part, I hope we're not going to need this. Oh yeah, the cultivator we were using over at our oat field, here's the wings for it. And yeah, there's those horrible things right there, which will be for sale. Cheap. There's the other half to our set of discs. Those are those fold behind discs. Yeah, they're a problem. Case rake, which is a good machine, if not for the fact that it was doing some really hard work, and yeah, the gearbox blew apart. I was just looking, that's a good tire. Wonder if I can use that in the other one. Is it a 15-inch? It is a 15-inch. I can use that on the other rake. These are two good tires. Take them away. So yeah, this is another one of my rakes that I bought at a Fraser auction. You will probably notice there's a pattern here. There should be a wax pencil on this somewhere. This was bought and has never moved. The reason it's never moved, as you'll notice, there's no baskets. Not baskets, there's no cage. There's no cages on the front. That's why it was never used. I have all brand new fingers for it. I just have to make the cage for it because you can't get them. Because I tried. I tried. Yeah, there you go. There's the wax pencils. And then, pièce de résistance to go with this big bugger is this old geezer. And yes, this old geezer runs. So yeah, at some point, this is going to be getting a right good makeover. And at some point, so will he. Needs a box though. I want to try and get a cancade, because cancades are made right here in Brandon, Manitoba. Nice to get a cancade for that truck too. That one I would really like to put a diesel in that truck, but we'll see. So yeah, should be pulling up underneath there. Anyway, blowing gearbox pattern, we think, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I saw a herd of wood ticks gathering to take me out. So yeah. Hate them. Don't like them. No, I don't. So, we're getting into her. And this is one of the reasons why we're getting on cutting. And we've got a smoky sun again. You can see this in here. You can't see the flowers too well, but it is about 50% flowered where it is drier. But here in the low spots, it is flat. She's down heavy, so it needs to come up now. So she is looking good. Oh! So just a wee update. Yeah, I know the windows aren't the cleanest. Wherever you see it's heavier soil, you can see it's gone down. But here's to show you how dry it is. That's a slough. Normally there's cattails in it. I cut it all. every spring when we were seeding crops in here, we'd have to go around that. Because quite often it's got water in it. We got right through everything. So she's pretty dry, guys. Lots of stuff though. Well, how's it going? I hear you ask. Well, thank you for asking. That's most meaningful. Yeah, there's a lot of cutting out there. Now, this is the earliest we've ever cut. I think I already talked about that. One of the reasons is, as you can see right here, right there, and just a little bit out there, it's going down quick. And that's the stuff we had trouble with last year, where it went down and then it wouldn't cure. So, like I said, I'm trying to lay it down as quick as we can. I'm almost halfway across the field. So that's me being a day out here. It's a bit slower going. That's partly because of this stuff being down. You have to slow down a little bit to let it go through the crimpers. Because if you let it rip through the crimpers at full speed, like this thing doing like 8, 9, 10 mile an hour, it's not, it won't crack the stems, and I've been told that by a few people. Just slow down when you get to the heavy stuff and let the crimpers do their job. The other reason is I've got like a third of a steering wheel slop in this, and there's, if I've said this already, you guys need to correct me. I will show you underneath. I will show you underneath what this is. The steering matrix, the screw part, is worn. They were telling me the threaded rod is $700. Like I said, I'll show you what it looks like, and if you tell me that's $700, I'm a monkey's uncle. Anyway, so yeah, it's a bit doing this all the way across the field, so I can't really let her buck when I get to the tall stuff, like there and there, like just give her wide open. So we make a good dinner tonight. We had a little splash of rain this morning. Wasn't really enough to keep the dust down. It's pretty well all dried up by now. So to all those who are needing rain, I'm trying. I'm cutting lots of hay. So yeah, let's get on. A few hours later, Vaseline in your ball cock works. Oh yeah, that's a cool update about that little project. So $700. Are you ready for this? And there. There. That's $700. So I'm not entirely sure if that's just for the rod and the rod and the castings. So I gotta talk to them. Like I said, you see, she's all lubed. So I'm not sure what we're dealing with here. Anyway, it's only money. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. This is weird. Like, what's this? hard to gauge. See, that's what I'm trying to figure out, if it's the outer part or the inner part. I'd have to take it apart to gauge the threads, like to measure these ones and then measure the ones that are inside there. Because I want to know whether the castings are wore out or the threads are wore out. Maybe if I get caught up on cutting, I can drop this out, because it would take about an hour to take this all apart. Because I'm going to drop the selector rods off the front and off the back. See, the back one's the one I already rebuilt. The front one looks okay. So, yeah. I don't know. It's all so stressful. So every few days we'll bring out bales as well as the silage. See there? Because it's always good that once they're done the silage, there's something there to nibble on. And we still have a lot of this third cut, which is pure alfalfa. It's good. It was baled a little bit on the moist side. But it has aired out, so it is dry now. But I'd far rather just get it used up, and there is only about 15 bales left. So I'd far rather these guys get the protein off of it than let it sit another year and lose, you know, the bottom of the bales. Hey, Sammy. So that's what we're doing. Giving them their snacks. Look at the babies. Look at the babies. That's enough of that. Telling you, you want a gold mine of an idea? You bottle the smell of this for like either a car air freshener or maybe the can of air freshener you have behind your toilet in your bathroom there. You bottle this smell, you'll make your millions. Oh man, man. Alfalfa alone is an incredible scent. Like, I'll take that over flowers like bouquet flowers any day, roses, whatever. Alfalfa and sweet clover is like right on the money. Yeah, like I said, every farmhouse would have a can of that spray in it. Whew. Look forward to that smell all winter. And the fact that, yeah. Anyway. This rig takes one of those drums completely. When it's down to the bottom of the tank, not empty, but to the bottom of the tank, it takes a whole one of those drums to fill this rig. So yeah, there's about an hour left down there to cut. But as you look around me, you go, oh my God, Piper Dog's gonna rain. Yeah, it rained. It already did. Not a lot, but enough to wet the underside of the swaths. The thing is, I'm not too cut up about it because the underside of the swath's still green. For whatever reason, this stuff, it'll cure down on the top like a crazy. And then the bottom quarter of the swath takes ages to cure down. We went through this last year. So yeah, I've cranked down the rollers on the crimper on this to try and smash it as hard as we can. It eats up the fuel and it slows you down a little bit because there's a lot of stuff out there. So I'm hoping the further we get in the field, the tighter I've got the crimper down, the better it's going to be. But as you can see, there's a wheel right there. I'm swapping wheels around, getting the rake ready. The rake of power. Old New Holland. That little old rake did what? It did over 1,000 acres last year. Well, coming out again. So here's hoping, fingers crossed. So yeah. There's a chance of rain again tonight and tomorrow, and then we've got about 4 days of good to go. So I'm done cutting for a while. So we're gonna get the rake set up, and then I'm gonna give Liam the ropes, get the headlands done, and then we'll set Liam loose in here. Probably just flip him over. I don't know if we'll go 2 into 1. Like over here, yeah, we could go 2 into 1, but over in the middle where it's heavier, no, it's pretty beefy. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I have no idea where we're at with anything. All I know is I did a bunch of cutting. Look at that. Yeah, did a bunch of cutting. I know we moved some cows around, did some stuff. So if you haven't subscribed, get subscribing. Hit the like button if you fancy. And yeah, hope to see you next week. There is a big surprise coming to the channel. Let's just say, pretty exciting. So yeah, all the more reason to come on back. Fire up the baler here, hopefully. Let's get after her. Now, there's the rain again, but we'll be ready. I tell you, thinking back to running the old New Holland baler, since we got this John Deere 568 with net wrap, man, it's a game changer. It's like the old 8730 is a great baling tractor. You know, it's a 1991, does everything we need. And like I said, that baler is the epitome. Like, I don't know. I know there's a model bigger, but I don't know why you'd ever need to. Like, realistically, I don't know how you could ever do any better than a 568 mega wide plus with net wrap. I don't honestly know how you could do any better.